Hello?
Frank.
Yeah. Hi, I didn't know if you were supposed to call me or if I was supposed to call you. It very got confusing.
Oh, okay. Wait. At least we got it together finally.
Yeah. So how's it going? What's happening?
Good, man. I guess you're you're super busy more now than ever, huh?
Yeah, it seems like. Kind of crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it's good though. That's good though. So you do a lot of teaching.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
Now, do you do like teaching online, like through Skype or?
No, I
I
have students out here. Yeah, in person. Yeah, I haven't.
Oh, cool.
A couple of people asked me about the Skype thing, but I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are doing the Skype thing, but I don't like Skype. I don't think it's too reliable.
Yeah. It's it's easier for me to have the person in the room. I feel a lot more comfortable with the person in the room.
Sure, and you can hear them and get the real feel for them a lot better than through a video. That's cool. So you had a whole big there was a whole big controversy going on. I guess it was about a month or so ago, where everybody was thinking that the Angel reunion was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just I guess it got confusing, and then when I did the interview with Team Rock, the guy that I did the interview with kind of misunderstood what I was saying. I was saying that it's been closer than it ever has been because we had the award show and stuff, and it's the first time all of us had been together in a long time in one room, even though we talked to each other at different times. I said, but there's no plans as of now. And I said, if there were plans, it would have to be all five of us anyway. So I guess he took that as me saying that, all five of us were talking about it. I don't know how he misunderstood it, but, it got misconstrued a little bit.
But did it make you? It had to make you feel good because there was a real good buzz going around. Everybody was getting excited. It had to make you and the rest of the guys feel good that there was still this interest, years later.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was nice for us to all be together. And we did the podcast with Eddie Trunk, and and it was like all five of us went back into our roles, within the band, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, it was great to hang out. The five of us hanging out with each other all the time for those few days, and just talking and catching up with each other. It's different when you talk to one person and then another person. Barry and I are always talking because we're always in touch with each other, and I talk a lot with Punky, and I've seen Felix a few times because he's done some stuff out here in Vegas for his company, and Greg lives out here, so I see Greg. Greg was at my release party and stuff, so we see each other, but it's different to have all five of us in the room together. So it was nice.
Right. That's cool. Now something too. I was thinking, back in the day, Gene Simmons was really important in the whole Angel thing and getting you guys signed and everything. Now, I was thinking, were you guys? When he came to see you guys play, I mean, naturally he didn't have the makeup on. So were you guys kind of shocked, wow, we're seeing Gene Simmons without makeup?
No. Well, I don't think we really even knew who they were because when they first came in. But what was going on was that Gordon Fletcher, who was a writer for Rolling Stone magazine and Circus magazine, and did a lot of record reviews, album reviews. Lived in the D.C. area, so he used to come to see us all the time, and he would bring bands down there every once in a while. He said whenever there's an international band playing at Largo or something, I'm gonna see if I can get them to come down. So we said that was great. So Kiss happened to be one of the bands that he brought down that night. He had brought down a few other bands before, but we didn't really know until he introduced us. What was going on,
right?
And and Gene wanted us to sign with Bill Aucoin, but we had just signed with David Joseph the week before that. We were going back and forth, going to sign with either Lieber and Krebs or David Joseph, and we ended up signing with David Joseph. And then a week or two later is when Gordon brought down the guys in Kiss. But we had a nice conversation. We talked a lot after the show, after we played. And we didn't see him again until in L.A. We moved to L.A. and our manager worked on getting us a record deal out there. And initially we were going to sign with Capitol. They gave us the best deal and the best offer. And David, our manager, had already put us in the studio, so he was financing the album as we were recording it. And and we brought it to the finished product. We brought it to Capitol, and ready to sign a deal. And we brought it to John Carter and Rupert Perry. And John wanted us to change a few things, and we got kind of disillusioned by the whole thing. And I don't know, who knows? But anyway, David said, "Well, why don't we take it to Neil? Let's see what he thinks." And earlier he had called Neil and asked him about signing the band. And Neil said, "Well, let me see them." And he said, "Well, maybe you won't have to because the guys in KISS have already seen them. They came to see them in a club in D.C." So he said, "Well, maybe I'll do that." So the assumption is he called Gene or Paul and talked to them, and then Neil called our manager back and said, "I'll sign the guys. I don't have to see them. I'll sign them sight unseen." So that was how we Gene brought us into that whole and brought us to the party with Casablanca. But like I say, initially we were going to sign with Capitol, and we went to Neil. We brought the album to Neil, and Neil loved it, and the rest is kind of history, I guess.
That's pretty wild, though. I mean, that's a true rarity where a label's going to sign you sight unseen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the whole Angel thing was pretty. All of us have been doing it for a while, and everything kind of just worked in our favor with Angel. Everything all the pieces moved into place for us. A lot of good things happened all at once, and it was kind of like a roller coaster ride, I think, for all of us.
Cool. Now, how about you released your first solo album finally last year.
Yeah.
Why so long? It took a long time for you, man.
Well, I'm always singing, so I'm always doing something. I did a lot of studio work after Angel. I did a lot of stuff with Giorgio, and I did a lot of made-for-television movies, and I did some soundtracks. The solo thing just wasn't. It wasn't something that I thought about because I would hook up with bands. I would hook up with guys. We put a band together, and you start writing for the band. So I never was in a solo situation. It was a foreign thing to me until my friend Ken, who was the executive producer on the album, Ken Ciancimino, said, "Why don't you do a solo album?" And at first I said, "I don't think so." And then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, this might be an interesting adventure. It might free me up a little bit. So, for writing wise, So, I thought about it more, and then I went back to Ken. I said, "Yeah, you know what? It might be a good idea. It might free me up to do some writing in a different way. Just to write some good songs and not worry about writing for the band." So, so Ken said, "Well, let me call Serafino." So, he called Serafino, and Serafino asked me if I had anything, to represent what I wanted to do. And I said, I have this one song that I wrote with Barry, and it's almost finished, and it's in a good place. It's still a demo, but it's in a good place. So he said, "Well, send it to me." So I sent it to him, and that was Even Now. And he loved it, and he said, "Let's do some business." So what I told him is my approach was going to be, I was going to keep Even Now, but everything else I was going to write new for the album. So it was all new material. So that's how we went about it for the album. And I sat down with Oz and Jeff Lubansky, a friend of mine from way back. And the first thing they asked me is, "Well, what direction are we going?" And I said, "We don't have a direction. We're just going to write some good songs. Let's just go about our business, just to start writing, and that's the way we approached it."
Nice. Now, how did you hook up with Oz Fox?
I've known Oz for a while now. He's Oz and I have played in a couple of bands out here, until we finally put Vinyl Tattoo together. So Vinyl Tattoo is a band that, that Oz and I start to throw out all the songs that we kind of grew up in, songs that we love playing. So that's what we do with Vinyl Tattoo. It was just a fun thing, and it's been going on for a while, so we still do it. We have Jeff Duncan from Armored Saint sits in with us when Oz can't do it. Scotty Coogan on drums and J.P. Michaels on bass. And every once in a while we have Michael T. Ross when he's available on keyboard. So, so we've done a lot of dates at that Vamped, Danny Coker's place. So it's been fun. Yeah.
Very nice. So how was it like to finally like get back in there and be and working on new music, and was it kind of like revigorating for you?
Yeah, I think what was reinvigorating was the fact that writing in a different way. I mean, it kind of freed me up for lyrically and song wise. I wasn't writing for a particular thing. I was just writing to put together a good album, and that's what the good thing is. As far as everything else, like I said, I've really never stopped singing. I've been in a lot of bands. I've done a lot of studio stuff, so I've always kept up doing what I do. So.
Right. Cool. Now, how about will you guys be doing any live shows? Or I think I still did see you playing the Whiskey coming up.
Yeah, I'm doing the Whiskey. It's October 21st. I got Jeff Duncan on guitar, Scotty Coogan, Michael T. Ross on keys, and this time I'm using Zach Throne on bass. Oz obviously is he's doing the Striper thing. So.
Right.
Had he been off, I said, well, even if you have the night off, come on in and sit in with us. But he's playing that night here in Vegas. Oddly enough, same night.
Oh, that's funny. Now, how about you did a couple videos too. You had "Rockin' in the City" was one, right?
Yeah, I did. That was the first one. And I thought with that one, let's do more of the band. So we put the band together. That's basically Vinyl Tattoo with Paul Crook. Paul Crook was playing the other guitar. Okay. All those guys are in Vinyl Tattoo. And when it came time to do the second video, I thought, well, let's do the one with Punky. I asked Punky if he wanted to participate in the video, and he said, yeah, sure, of course. So I got that together, and I said, let's approach it a little bit differently. Let's kind of approach this video lyrically a little bit more with the lyric content. So we kind of did a little bit of a mini story going on. We took the lyrics, what was going on, loosely with the lyrics, and kind of worked our way around that. Nice.
How was it working with Punky again?
Oh, it was great. I mean, like I said, when we did the podcast, we all fell into our usual places, and it's again when Punky and I played so many shows together, so long, did so many albums together that we fall right back into it once we start playing with each other.
Sure. Do you think you doing a solo album kind of like inspired him to get his together earlier this year?
I don't know. I think those things kind of fall in place. They either fall in place for you or they don't. It's not like you go out and say, look, you know what? I want to do a solo album. Let's do it now. I mean, all those things kind of have to fall in place for you to say, okay, now I can go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? So if you did, it's great. But I think for him, it had a fall into place for him.
Nice. Now, when you play the show the 21st, will you be playing the song "Seduce Me Tonight"?
That was under consideration. I don't know. I don't know about that. It was under consideration. Not for so long though.
Why did you call it Cycle V?
It's Cycle 5, and that was Giorgio's idea. At the time, I told him, I said, Cycle 5 is a dog food, Giorgio. He said, it is? I said, yeah. But that's what he wanted to go with. I said, if that's what you want to go with, that's fine with me. I was there as a studio musician, so, I worked on that song with him and goodness, his name escapes me now. The guy with Billy Idol, producer.
Oh, Steve Stevens?
No, not Steve Stevens. The producer, the guy that writes and produces Billy Idol. God, I can't remember his name now. So. It must be age. I don't know. Only so much fits in your brain. After a while, it kind of slips out, you know. But yeah, I was there. I was there as a studio musician. So I said, if that's what you want to do, Giorgio, that's fine with me.
That's funny. Now that you got the one solo album under the belt, you think you'll be doing more in the future?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, I just about a month ago, Paul Crook and myself went out to dinner and we talked about that. So we've already got a couple of songs that we were writing, and he's sending me another one. So we went out to see Glenn Hughes after dinner, at Vamp, and the show was so good. So I think maybe it inspired us to do another album again. We went and talked to Glenn after the show, and I thought, maybe we should do another album. And Pat Thrall sat in with him, and Pat said, "I'm ready. Let's go."
Nice.
So, maybe we'll do another one.
Yeah, I mean the music business isn't the greatest thing nowadays, but I think the cool thing about it is that now you have the freedom just to be so creative and just do whatever you want, whenever you want. Yeah.
It's not like I don't think anyone's out there doing an album expecting to sell 1 million copies anymore. It's the business is really turned kind of upside down. There's really no record sales anymore. There's no place to sell them. So you do them because you still have them in you, and like I say, certain things fall into place, and someone like Frontiers comes at you and says, "Listen, you want to do a record? Let's do it." So you have someone to work with to do it.
Right.
And that's important when you want to record. Otherwise, you're just you're financing it yourself and selling it from your trunk.
Right. And people are doing that.
Yeah, it was just as I said, I started thinking, well, I know a lot of hip hop artists now that have made millions of dollars doing that.
Cool.
Crazy.
So, all right, so you're playing the Whiskey October 21st.
Yes.
And what any other shows after that, or?
Yeah, there should be some shows. I'm not quite sure if any of them are have been confirmed yet, but I think there's a few shows in Northern California, and I think the booking agent is trying to sell a package with me and myself and Graham Bonnet, so maybe we'll do some shows together.
Nice.
But yeah, I believe there's a few more. It just hasn't been confirmed yet. But it's at this point, the way, like I said, the music industry, it's up to promoters who want to buy the package. They want to, book it and stuff. So it's up to them. I mean, I'm ready to play anywhere. I love playing live, so it's what I do here. So
nice, very cool. So where can everybody find the album and find you?
The album is on iTunes, Amazon.com. I have a website, frankdimino.com, where you can get updates of wherever I'm playing live, of any tours or any dates or any news about doing the next solo album or whatever I'm doing. But everything should be there. I have a Facebook musician page, but I think mostly the website will probably give you the most information. But the Facebook page does give you whatever I'm doing, like locally, or whenever I'm playing out here, or doing some other stuff, interviews and stuff like that. It keeps you up to date on that.
You think coming out to the East Coast anytime soon, possibly?
I would love to. It's my old stomping ground, so I'd love to play on the East Coast, but we'll see. They a promoter doing the show has to buy it first before I can come there. So I mean, I would love to do some shows out there. So you got any pull? See what you can do.
Cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Frank, yeah. I'm glad we finally got this together. It was great talking to you. I know you're super busy. Yeah. The album's awesome. Everybody needs to go check it out. They need to buy it. It's called Old Habits Die Hard. And, thanks again for being part of the show, Frank. And if I can just get you to cut an ID for me before I let you go.
Absolutely, Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. This is Frank DiMino, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Okay. Hey, this is Frank DiMino, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Frank.
Cool. Absolutely, man. I'm glad we got it together, too.
Absolutely. Take care, my friend.
Take care of yourself. Yep, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.